very soon, but I just want to do an audio check while nobody's on the stream yet. Tee hee. So Beedao, say something.
What's up, dude?
Okay, confirm if you can hear that on the stream
Okay.
when the stream catches up.
Quick
Yeah.
question.
Yep.
So I thought we were second pick. Are we first pick?
Yeah, I think so. Did I copy it wrong from the
Fuck.
schedule? Nope. Yeah, you guys are first pick. I did not
Fuck.
copy.
Alright.
Yep.
Oh. Okay, well, they're fucked.
Well,
Kind of.
okay, I loaded into a game, so let me know if you hear games audio.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. You should just hear it. And if you hear it, then we're good, and I can go and do my duty real quick. So are we good on the game audio as well?
I don't hear anything right now.
There's like a decent amount of like delay, I think. But still nothing?
No, I don't hear anything.
That's weird because it's being picked up by OBS. Okay, hold on. Let's see what happens if I load into the game again and then actually switch. Okay. So I'm loading into the game. Let me know if you hear game sounds. And then let me also know if you hear yourself.
Yeah, I hear game sounds.
Do you hear yourself?
Yep, I do.
So you hear game sounds and yourself.
Yes.
Thank fucking god. Okay.
I sound like kind of weird now though. I don't sound as clear
The sound is not as clear.
from my mic.
Let me try something. Okay. So let me know right now if you hear both yourself and the game audio. And yeah.
Hello. Do I sound like any new mic? Okay, I sound normal now.
Okay.
But I think it's pick up your mic, your headset mic though.
Okay. Let me double check that. Okay, so it should be using the new mic. And just to be clear, you still hear yourself, yes?
Do I? Do I?
Yep.
Yeah, I do. I do.
And you still hear game sounds?
Yep.
Thank God. Okay, sweet Jesus. Alright, gonna switch back to the fucking loading screen then. And then in approximately 11 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, if you are early birds here to the stream, we will have our game of the night between Double Jungle Gap and Andyland. So sit tight. Okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's stream. Just the one game for you guys tonight, but what a game it shapes up to be. It will be Double Jungle Gap, who took the victory over Hapuma Matata yesterday in the triple header. Looking to pick up another win here over a suddenly very vulnerable looking but still dangerous Andyland. 4-2 on the season for Andyland, 2-2 on the season for Double Jungle Gap. So we're gonna get that going very, very soon, and then we're gonna get the game started. Not sure if anybody's gonna be joining me tonight, which is a little sad. May mean that I do the old solo cast, throwing it all the way back to season 1. But we'll see as people start rolling in. Who knows? Who knows who might pop in? Okay, so as we do hit the 9 o'clock mark here, going to check in with both teams and see if they are ready to go. Okay.
Let's do it.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, you guys ready?
We
As
are ready.
ready as we can be.
That's what I like to hear.
Andyland, eh? Top one
Andyland.
team, eh?
Not anymore.
They about to lose today.
Save it for the pregame. Save it for the pregame.
Oh no, I'm just gonna shit talk them the whole game, not just pregame, my guy.
Not just
Okay.
pregame. That's what we do over here, okay?
Alright, just make sure you can back it up, otherwise you guys will look a little bit sus. Alright, anyways, I'm gonna check in
GG
with
Freelo.
Andyland. I'm gonna check in with Andyland and then should be able to get going very, very soon.
Alright.
Hello gamers.
Yo.
What's good? You guys ready?
Something like that.
Something
gonna-
like that.
Andy.
You guys know who you're sending to the interview desk?
Do you want someone?
I would like to, yes, Andy. Do you not? You know, I know you're above the rest of the league, but you're not above the interview desk.
Wait, Roger, why do you sound different?
I'm using a new mic.
Wow, dude.
Damn,
That's a
I
lot of
can
bass.
tell.
A lot of
Goddamn.
bass in there, dude. Yeah.
A lot
like
of bass. Should
You
I?
sound kind of manlier. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. I guess that's kind of a backhanded compliment, no? But
I just said you sounded man. I didn't say you sound like a little girl.
well, that implication being that I sounded less manly before, right?
Yeah. We'll send someone.
Okay, cool. All right. Thanks, Andy. Okay.
Hello, Roger.
Hello,
I'm a little
Clovis.
bit late, but I made it.
All good. Still getting the lobby set up here for this game, so get you invited.
All right.
There we go. Okay, yeah. So tonight,
I should spectate. There we go.
Double Jungle Gap versus Andyland.
Yeah, this is a highly anticipated series, and it's going to have big implications for the standings. If Andyland can cinch this one out, they're going to be in a three-way tie for first place. However, Double Jungle Gap is going to be pushing for the win here because with their new roster, they've been looking extremely competitive and can definitely turn things around for the second split.
Yeah, definitely. Double Jungle Gap want to make sure that their win against Hapuma Matata last night was not fool's gold. So definitely would make a huge statement with a win here over Andyland. For Andyland, to me, they kind of seem like the wounded beast right now. Have lost their previous two games, but the wounded beast backed into a corner. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, that's for sure. So we'll have to see what these teams pull out here today. Andyland was looking a little bit off their game the past few times we've seen them on the Rift.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, for their sake, they've kind of ironed out those problems, and we'll see the Andyland of old today this time.
To me, it's really been a 3-game slide here for Andyland. If you recall, in their last win against Support Diff, that was the game where Support Diff did pick up that Infernal Soul, but unfortunately lost the macro game to Garen in the bot lane. So, really got to reverse their fortunes here.
Yeah, Andyland's definitely a team that they got a good game plan. They have strong players, so I think if they can iron out whatever mental or communication hiccups they're going through, I am confident they can come back in full force. That being said, we have Andyland kind of trying to return to their former strength, but Double Jungle Gap, they are on the rise. They have momentum, and they are looking really strong with this new roster lineup.
Yeah, the pickup of Daddy No Chill here has proven to work wonders, at least in our one-game sample, but just sitting in on their practice.
You just need 2 points to make a trend line, Roger, so
Exactly.
maybe this is data point number 2.
Exactly. And I think more importantly, just sitting in their practices, their communications seem to be on the upswing as well. I know that the rest of the team is also not sitting on their laurels and waiting for this new top laner to carry them. I've seen a lot of improvement here, especially in the mid and bot lanes specifically. Simple Actions, Kevin, a bit of a newer player, but definitely putting in a lot of hours on the Rift and very receptive, I think, to coaching as well, which I really, really appreciate.
Yeah, their win in the last week, that bottom lane did not look like the same bottom lane we saw earlier, and they actually held their own for a really long time and actually performed super well. They had so much damage coming in from the Senna support of all places. To turn it back to Andyland, though, I am wondering, are we going to see Joshi in the middle lane or the top lane, Gordo Lee in the top lane or the mid lane? Because that team has looked very different with those two different permutations.
Yeah. All right. So, without further ado, I think we should hear from some of these players here. So we're gonna see who gets sent up to the interview desk tonight. It looks like Philip here going to be joining us from Andyland. Hello, Philip.
Yo, what's up?
The jungler here for Andyland. Is your posse in the chat tonight? I don't think I've heard from them just yet.
No, I don't think. I'll have to send them a text, maybe see if the posse's gonna show up.
Okay.
It's a Monday though. They got jobs, got things to do.
Jobs at 9 p.m. on a Monday though.
Okay, you know what? We don't need to talk about that. They'll show up, maybe.
Okay.
We don't need them anyways.
All right. Looks like opposite the interview desk here for you will be the pair of Zoomers from Double Jungle Gap here. So Double Zoomer. Maybe you guys should rename your team to Double Zoomer Gap.
Am I allowed to rename the team?
I mean, we'll see. But as it stands here, going to be joined on the interview desk by XX Pelvis Pablo XX and Daddy No Chill, aka Ryan. So, without further ado, let's get into it. As a blue side team, Double Jungle Gap will get the first question. So, I'll let either of you answer this, but you guys picked up a win in your first game as this new team. What are you guys going to be looking to do to build off of the momentum from your win over Hakuna Matata?
All right. Well, I guess as captain, I'm going to say something first. Listen, this team, this momentum, it ain't stopping, okay? We're only looking forward, and all we're going to do is become the #1 team, okay? This isn't even a competition anymore, okay? Andy is like, their team's in shambles, okay? We saw last game, like, they didn't even look like the #1 seed. They were predicted to be, the favorite team. But guess what? We're here. Okay, we're here to take the win. We're here to take the dubs. Because me and Daddy, we're I guess I'm Mama. I don't know.
You and Daddy are what?
I'm Mama and he's Daddy.
We're gonna spank him. We're gonna spank him. He gonna hold him down. I'll get the belt, and we're gonna spank him. That's what we're gonna do.
That's what we're gonna do.
And you see. So we beat Haboom's team yesterday, right? And Haboom beat Andy. So you know what that means. You guys going down. You guys going down. You know that.
Down.
Yep. Yeah. So just to be clear, Calvin, if you and Daddy are spanking him, that makes you mommy, right?
I said I was the mama. What? I'm sure with that.
Okay.
You got something wrong with that? Hello?
No, I just want to be super clear here. I just want to be super clear here what the dynamic is. Okay, Mama putting in that work. All right, sounds. Okay, well, we're gonna now turn it over to Philip. and Andyland here. So for you, Philip, your team's in a bit of a slide right now, stuck in a bit of a rut, but we all know what you guys are capable of. So how have you guys been preparing and trying to get out of this little funk that you guys are in right now?
Some got the tape reviews, you know. It was clear there were maybe some like our play on a individual basis is like actually pretty good, but we've been making some pretty Papega macro plays. Particularly, we haven't been playing a lot from behind, so I think like we've thought about it a lot. We got some ideas. I think it's just nice to give everyone else a chance, you know.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be fun if we were just top of the table. So.
Yeah, okay. So sounds like Andyland here, a fan of charity, trying to give back to the rest of the teams in the standings, but going to be looking to get back into the win column here tonight. So thank you to all of our interviewees here on the interview desk. I'll let you guys go back to your teams as we get ready for Double Jungle Gap versus Andyland. Good luck to you.
Good luck.
See ya.
And there we go. Kids these days.
Young
older by the minute.
Yeah. Really sharp here with the flame. You know, that's one thing that I've noticed working with high schoolers is they're very, very quick. Very quick-witted these days.
Yeah, they're just, this is the internet generation. You know, I'm talking to my Gen Alpha 4th graders, and they know what is hip and happening. But you know what's hip and happening? It's this draft, and we're going to go right into it.
Okay. And wow, an insta ban here coming out. Lucian and Senna, husband and wife, going to be the first bans here of the game. How thematic. I wonder if this was premeditated from both teams.
That's definitely targeting the support pick from Double Jungle Gap that we saw the previous night, and that Senna support did so much damage. Other things getting taken off the table are Andy's Varus. Yeah, you can't let Mr. Chunks get his signature champion, the Chains of Corruption, truly a menace, and Ash also being banned away. So many pick tools and 80 carries actually getting banned.
Yeah, that's a very bot lane centric ban phase. 5 out of 6 champions here are going in that bot lane.
Yeah, another one of those bans I do want to point out is that Anivia, a target ban for Arena Thunder, who has been practicing that Anivia all week, getting really clean on that champion, showing it in some of our in-houses or scrims, and it's going to be banned away. We'll see what else Arena Thunder has up her sleeve.
Okay, so if you are Andyland there, I don't think you're too upset. Misfortune, a favorite pocket pick here of Mr. Chunks. We have also seen Silent Voice, aka Francis, on the Seraphine in their win over support diff. Very trigger happy on the flash, but as we saw, it only takes one encore to win your team the game, and it hit literally, I think, one big encore to win the Infernal Soul fight, or the Elder Dragon fight, excuse me, and seal the win there for Andyland.
Well, with the lock-in from Double Jungle Gap of the Udyr, they take that power pick. They show that they're willing to run at you in a straight line. It's responded to by the Seraphine Misfortune, so maybe Andy lands the game. We get that crowd control, we get that CC, we get that kiting potential to beat out your Udyr. You know what Double Jungle Gap says to that? They say, hold my beer, or non-alcoholic beverage of choice if you are a Zoomer. And they lock in the Tristana Leona. They're going all the way here. There's no backing out. There's only one direction, and that is forward.
Yeah, that really is the name of the game here for Double Jungle Gap, as Captain XX Pelvis Pablo XX alluded to in their interview. But I'm very concerned already. Tristana and Leona, as you said, Clovis, both very much want to dive in. And if they don't have those earplugs, Seraphine is going to have a whale of a time just charming them. And then going to be a bullet time over the top, going to be put to sleep by this Lilia. So they really got to play these fights and play these engages very, very quickly.
Yeah, and in a way, this is pretty much super stylistic for both these teams. It's the calling card of Andyland, that kiting, that second fight, that disengage that they really love to play. Declining fights and playing around the map, playing the wave control game. And on the side of Double Jungle Gap, it's just, we're going to fight, we're going to outplay you, we're going to show our individual player skill, our team fight ability, and that's what they're going to try to win the game off the back of. Speaking of wave management, there's that Victor getting hovered by the side of Andyland. I would not be surprised at all to see this locked in, and locked in it does get. Already a 4th range champion to join the lineup of this team. Lilia, sort of a melee champion, but she's not really a tank or an engaged champion by any stretch of the imagination. Sure, you can get those big ultimates to set up fights, but you're not a tank. So there's pretty much just 4 ranged champions. So it means that Andyland will have a really powerful siege. They are going to need to be careful, though. If they fall behind, there's nothing to stop Leona and Udyr from just barreling them over, and that's the Nico. Probably for Arena Thunder to get that follow-up CC as well.
Yeah, this Nico pick I think is very, very interesting because Nico with the Pop Blossom does very, very well as a counter engage tool against the likes of, say, like Malphite or Hecarim that want to sit on top of you. And then you hit that Pop Blossom, you go into stasis, or you just get that shield near the end of the Blossom animation, and then all of a sudden the entire frontline diving in gets hit by that massive AP ratio and gets stunned. But if you look at the composition coming out from Andyland, there is no hint of a dive whatsoever, and it looks like it will not. Wow. So essentially 5 ranged champions here going to be locked in. So a poke comp I think is going to be the name of the game for Andyland, and that's very concerning I think if you are Double Jungle Gap.
Yeah, it's good. This is going to be an explosive game one way or another. I mean, I feel like I say this about every game, Roger, because that's just the way Do It Big is. These teams are so different and so polarizing that whichever team gets to play to their win condition will have boundless success. We have this super aggressive, run at you, do not give a damn composition from the blue side. They're going forward, they're running toward the enemy nexus, and they're going to CC you until you die. And Andyland, they don't want any of that. They're going to say, you run at us, we're going to drop the Hail of Bullets, we're going to drop Seraphine spells to cover all of this ground, kite you over the Victor Gravity Well, and slowly attrition you to death with that Jace poke. So if Andyland gets ahead in the lanes, they'll be sieging in the mid game, and they're just going to have a walk through the park for a quick end and Dragon Soul, but I don't want to play this Andyland comp if they are behind gold.
Yeah. No, definitely. Definitely going to be interesting to see how Udyr tries to leverage, I assume, to be the early jungle tempo in this game. Try to snowball, like you said, that dragon lead potentially and force Andyland to fight on their terms. If you look at the engage options here from Double Jungle Gap, roughly low to medium range engage. Longest engage are going to be Leona, but no real setup for Leona. So if she is going to try to hit these very mobile champions coming out from Andyland with a naked solar flare, it's going to be a big ask here for the Northwest. So it will be interesting to see where this early tempo jungle of Udyr goes. If you're Lilia, though, you're not too worried. Lilia has just as good clearing speed, but a little bit harder of a time dueling, obviously, in the early game. So I think if you're Lilia, as long as you start on the opposite side of Udyr here, you should be able to get a relatively safe early game and then transition into that poke-oriented team fight that Andyland wants to play in the mid game.
Agree completely with that, Roger. The matchup I'm going to be highlighting for the start of this game is going to be that middle lane. It's going to be a challenging contest between Nico and Victor. Neither of them have a decisive advantage early, but Nico does have that higher quality crowd control. Whoever gets that pushing advantage is going to have a lot of say over who gets what crabs. And that can be all the early game advantages that either of these teams needs to seal the deal. So keep an eye on that mid lane levels 1 through 4. See who gets crab control off of that. And with that, Roger, who are you putting your channel points on today?
Well, I have infinite channel points because I am the owner of the channel. But if I had to put my money on a team here, I think I will have to give it over to Andyland. I think their comp is a little bit easier to execute, just in terms of essentially Death Ball and Poke, and slowly whittle down the health here of these very short-range champions coming out from Double Jungle Gap. One thing I want to keep an eye out on here is this bot lane of Misfortune and Seraphine. Neither champion here with any sort of escape gap closers. So if Double Jungle Gap can play it well here, could bait out that Make It Rain. The only real gank dissuading tool, I guess there's the Seraphine E-Slow as well, but if those are on cooldown, Udyr is going to have a great time just running in and stunning these very squishy champions, and maybe they can get that snowball rolling starting from the bot lane.
Yeah, that'll be the name of the game in the early game. That cooldown management is going to be a really critical piece, because Andyland wants to be pressuring, they want to be using their spells to push and trade, but if you have that spell down at a critical juncture, then lights out for you, because you are going to face the wrath of the bear slap, and the pelvis will be there to end your life. So we'll have to keep an eye on the jungle tracking as well. Man, there's so much I want to be thinking about this game, Roger. It is hard to keep it straight, but we're gonna have to try, because we're loading onto the river right now.
Indeed we are. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as we bring the betting to a close as well, let's take a look at the final tally. Wow, we have a 50-50 here. Double Jungle Gap with just 100 less channel points bet compared to Andyland. So this is far and away our closest prediction, or odds, I guess, of the tournament thus far. No overwhelming favorites here. Clearly, Twitch chat is a big fan here of this new look Double Jungle Gap roster.
And we should take a look at that to start a game off. We have opposite side 5 snack invades. That means that we know from our God's Eye view that there's not going to be any conflict here, but we will have to see what level 1 wards get trocked, because that could be very interesting.
Yes, indeed. It will be also interesting here to see. Okay, looks like Udyr not gonna think about starting in the enemy red jungle here. Let's see if Lilia opts to do the same. So far, just the one ward dropped in that top tribe brush from Double Jungle Gap, and there is that red ward coming out from Andyland.
Yeah, overall, I think Andyland gets a much more efficient ward, and early Tribush ward from the side of Double Jungle Gap really is not going to tell them anything about Lilia's route, and it is going to be a bottom side leash, I believe, for this Lilia. A little surprising, because I think in competitive metagame, Lilia is very famous for her Raptor start, freeing up both side lanes to start in the laning phase without a leash, but blue buff start, it's going to be no problem if you're less familiar with this champion. It'll keep you healthy, keep you fast in the jungle at a little bit of cost of tempo on the bottom side.
Yeah, I think more importantly here, the decision making for Andyland is how, because they know that the red is not being started by Udyr, Lilia will be pathing away from Udyr in this early game, which is definitely what you want to do. Meeting Udyr in the jungle early is going to spell a lot of trouble.
Yeah, this jungle route also signals a lot about how these teams want to play their side lanes. Lilia start on the bottom side implies to me that she wants to interact with this volatile Jace matchup, get Joshi ahead so he can start snowballing with that ignite, no teleport even taken. And on the other side, Udyr pathing down the bottom side can easily look to gank and ghost onto an overextended Mr. Chunks and a Silent Voice.
One thing to keep an eye out on here, Udyr went Turtle Stance second. This is not something that we've seen coming out from the Udyr in this new meta of the Turbo Chem Tank Udyr. Usually you go Tiger Stance to start on your buff, get the most efficient single target DPS, and then switch to level Phoenix Stance second. And that gives you a lot of early clear potential at the cost of some of your health, but the Omnivamp from the new jungle item means that Udyr is still going to be healthy after he takes 6 camps. And as you see here, his clear speed has been significantly impacted at 3 minutes, still only halfway done with that red buff, so not nearly as much early tempo. Actually, Lilia going to be just slightly ahead. If you take a look at this, Lilia on Krugs before Udyr here. I think a bit of a mistake here if you are Double Jungle Gap. Hold on, it's going to be a flash engagement from the Leona. Cleanse going to be used too early from Mr. Chunks here. And now Udyr should be able to get the stun very, very soon, but there is no follow-up here from the very, very short range stun at this stage in the game. So, Misfortune here going to live all but the flash from the Seraphine used in that gank. And I'm gonna be honest, if this was the Tiger Phoenix Bear Udyr, I think that might have just been a little bit different. Meanwhile, on the top lane now, though, there is a Lilia here. Ooh, the bowling ball just gonna go wide. No slow. Flash in from the Lilia. Doesn't think they have enough damage just yet. Ooh, but there it is. The lilting blows. That second lilting blows hitting the outer edge there. The sweeping edge going to be enough with that extra true damage on top to pick up first blood in the top lane. So that Jace with the ignite paying dividends for Andyland in the early game.
It's going to be a decisive early lead for Andyland. What a statement. They play the crossback excellently. Mr. Chunk somehow limps out of that gank, trading his flash cleanse for 2 flashes and a ghost. That's incredible. And then he leaves, comes back to a frozen wave, misses no CS. So he's going to be very happy with that outcome. And on the other side, that snowball has been starved for that ignite Jace. He doesn't need to come back to his wave using teleport because he doesn't have teleport. He's going to come back in lane with an extra long sword. Did not get the first blood, so he's actually not too much stronger than Gnar yet. We'll have to convert this advantage, but Lilia being accelerated, not a bad thing for Andyland by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay, so real quick, Clovis, sorry. I have a question from Twitch chat here. Sindisich asking me, have I ever seen a fan club as disciplined as the Paw 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 Pussy Posse Patrol? Wait. Did you guys change that name? You added patrol to it now. But no, yeah, no, you guys are out here in full force every single game. So no, I have not. I have not seen a fan club as disciplined as you guys, always showing your love here for Paw Paw Paw. And your support here, I think, has directly led to him picking up first blood in this game. If I'm being completely honest with you, Philip has not had the greatest time in the tournament thus far. We've seen his Hecarim get sent to the glue factory basically on cooldown in the early game in a lot of their games here. So perhaps a sign of the changing times here.
You know, one thing I am a little bit concerned about, and that we should keep an eye on, Roger, is that although Joshi is ahead, he's only about a head assist gold. Like, he's up 150 gold, because he did not get that first blood himself. That's onto Lilia. So without teleport, he's going to struggle a little bit with these trades. Gnar can always trade his HP, teleport back in, and even if Jace is healthy, if Joshi doesn't have the mana to punish, he can get trapped in a very bad lane state if Paw 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 isn't there to help him out.
Definitely. Okay, one thing that I just noticed here with this Udyr, it will not be the meta Udyr that we're used to. Looks like it will be a Stridebreaker Udyr with the Hearthbound Axe in the inventory. Calvin here, unfortunately, just does not like playing what is good. Instead likes playing what he thinks is cool, as Zoomers like to do. With both a Conqueror and now a Hearthbound Axe, going to be playing, in my opinion, the inferior version of Udyr. Turbo Chemtank does exactly what Stridebreaker does, except better as far as I'm concerned. But will be interesting to see how this non-meta Udyr build works out here.
Yeah, a little bit different, so we'll see how that plays out. You know, I always love it when
hold on, here we go. Paw 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 in the top lane, gonna put Gnar asleep here, but the Shock Blast gets blocked by the caster minion. That might be different. No, wow. So Lilia here coming up huge. 2 kills now onto the new top laner of Double Jungle Gap, giving him a nice warm welcome to the Do It Big Invitational. 2-0 now for the Lilia. If you are part of the Paw 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 Patrol, this is your boy right here, but your boy is about to get found out by this very fast Udyr. Lilia running for the hills here. Should be able to hit the blast cone over, but not out of the woods just yet. But now there is a Jace here waiting for the Udyr. This Udyr going very, very low. The Shock Blast able to pick that one up. And now it is a snowballing top lane in favor of Andyland. What a significant advantage and what a different game here that we've seen from Paw Paw Paw.
Oh man, Udyr gets vaporized. He is down almost 1,000 gold and down the level. He gets found by that Jace, and Joshi just deletes this guy. It's lights out for the Udyr. This is already a great start for Andyland, and this is exactly what they need to start brutally snowballing this game. Once the towers fall, they're going to be grouping this monster Jace, and then it's going to be tower after tower falling. I'm not sure what Double Jungle Gout need to do to turn this one around.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough situation for them. If you think about their comp, the nature of this dive...
Trying Rift Herald, he's down 2 levels on Lilia.
Okay, going to be found out by the Vision Plant as well, going to be forced to retreat. Yeah, this is not something that we see too often. An Udyr that is behind 2 levels in the first 9 minutes to the opposing jungler, speaking to how well Philip has been doing thus far, but also why you don't deviate from what is good. If you are Udyr, that turtle stance second, I really think gave him a much harder early game than necessary.
He's really tunneled on this Rift Shield, but I think this is a huge blunder because he's still level 5. He's not even level 6, and his whole jungle is up. This is how Lily is staying ahead. She's constantly clearing her camps. She's ganking top, just pressuring, right? But Paw,
hold on.
He's not just tunneled on that. He's doing his camps and pathing up.
Yeah, and meanwhile in the bot lane here, Misfortune in a 1v2 scenario gonna dodge out that Zenith Blade, so even Misfortune not getting punished. Seraphine hovering here in the mid lane for an extended period of time, not gonna be able to find anything, but will make sure that Udyr is not comfortable starting this Rift Herald with a potential champion advantage here in favor of Andyland. Udyr is gonna finally ding level 6 here, but yeah, look at how behind this champion is.
He's going to struggle to catch up here. If we take a look at his items, he's pretty far from Mythic. Has that Hearthbound Axe in his inventory. I guess that implies Stridebreaker to me, which will be excellent once he finishes it, but he's going to have a really hard time keeping pace with Lilia, who is up the entire level and already has tier 2 boots. Just going to sprint across the map, and if Udyr ever gets found by Lilia, he's just going to get run down. He'll never be able to get into range.
Yeah, definitely. As far as I'm concerned, this Udyr is basically not a champion. Udyr needs to stay ahead, needs to leverage the massive early game advantage that comes with this champion at this point when he runs in, especially without the extra tanky stats from a Turbo Chem Tank, excuse me, will be absolutely eviscerated by the front-loaded burst damage coming out from this poke comp.
Already seeing about a 2.5k gold lead for Andyland. The one saving grace for Double Jungle Gap is their one dragon, but that's going to be tied up here by Andyland, and it's going to be an Earth or Fire Soul. That's really spicy, and we've been blessed with another Infernal. There we go, Roger. We had a bit of a cloud spell for a while, but
yes, we did.
Finally getting blessed with the RNG gods.
Indeed. And Udyr finally able to pick up that Rift Herald after the dragon gets taken away by Andyland here, but gonna be hard to see where this Rift Herald gets dropped for any sort of value. All 5 plates up in all 3 lanes here for Andyland will mean that unless they can secure a kill here... Oh, okay. So we have a bit of a pause here coming out. Just gonna be about a 2-minute pause, it looks like, judging by all chat. Which will give us time to take stock of what has been a pretty significant lead here for Andyland, basically from about the 5-minute mark when Lilia was able to find that gank onto Gnar.
Yeah, it's just been pretty non-stop action. This is one thing I am going to say is, junglers, if you're watching this game, this is a textbook example of why you gotta clear your camps. And this sounds really obvious, right? But you know, the metaphor I like to use is, it's like you're on the plane, Roger. You know how they do that safety talk, and they're like, this is what you do with your oxygen mask. And, you know, you know what they always tell you about the oxygen mask, Roger? Put your own mask on before you help others, so you're no use to anyone when you're dead.
Right.
And I feel like that's pretty much what jungle's all about. Like, you want to impact the map, you want to help your team, but if you just stand in bushes the whole game not farming, you're going to show up weak, and at that point, you're just a liability. So if you're a jungler, yeah, help your team, but take care of yourself first. Make sure you have the resources to be strong so that you don't just walk in as a gold pinata, just dying and spewing out gold all over the map. You need to be strong so that people are afraid of you, not the other way around.
Yeah, speaking of oxygen mask, as far as I'm concerned, this Udyr is basically grasping for air on life support here. Gonna be trying to paw his way back into this game. Miss Princess Handjob. You like that one? How about that? I was asked to make a paw pun there. But yeah.
We're back. Simone has tucked in her mom. Shout out to Arena Thunder's mom, and shout out to
Hold
moms
on,
everywhere.
Misfortune gonna go very aggressive here. Oh my goodness, the Encore gonna be barely dodged by the rocket jump. Good rocket jump timing if you are Tristana here. Otherwise, it definitely would have been a kill. 2 huge cooldowns blown by the bot lane of Andyland here. Gonna mean that now in the mid lane, ooh, good flash by the Victor, dodging that Pop Blossom. A bit of a misplay here. I think if you are Simone, though, you could have flashed to match, but maybe not confident in the damage potential at this point in the game. Does have that Hex Tech Alternator plus the Sorcerer's Boots, but Victor gonna live there, having to trade the flash for the ultimate cooldown here of Nico.
Yeah, and trade of those cooldowns, and I guess they only used the flash from the northwest, but ultimately it's not too committed of a gank by Pop, who's in the area anyway. Just thought he'd give it a call, and we'll be happy clearing his Grop, his Wolf, his Raptor, and his Krugs. Another full clear, another money, another paycheck in the bank. And I don't know where I'm going with this metaphor anymore, Roger. But speaking of money, it's going to be the Rift Herald drop in the bottom side.
Hold on here, though. Lilia is here. Lilia going to be able to find all 3 here. 3-man sleep should be coming down very, very shortly. It should be 2, actually. So Udyr and Tristana going to fall asleep here. Oh, my goodness. Look at this Lilia damage. Paw leading the charge. You're able to pick up the Leona and the Tristana. Thus far, Udyr running for the hills. And this deer is just leading the charge here for Andyland, doing so much work, zooming around the map, putting people to sleep.
Yeah, narrowly living by the skin of his teeth is Paw. Yet he went down to 50 HP there with the Ignite ticking and narrowly limped out of it. But keeping that shutdown back that's a big swing for Andyland. They're going to be happy with that one. Already a 5-0 start.
Ooh, trade of flashes here in the top lane here between Gnar and Jace, but now Gnar needs to be careful. Ooh, the Shock Blast going wide there. Now there is an Udyr trying to look for the Jace, but this Jace is 3 levels up. There is a Nico in tow as well. Blast Cone Gaming, let's see if he's able to find it. He is, and it's going to actually basically cancel out the stun duration from that bear stance, but the Pop Lobster should be able to land onto the Jace here, but not before Udyr eats one more auto from the Jace, so will end up being a trade of kills in a 1v3 situation. Jace coming alive in this game, the beneficiary of 3 ganks from the Lilia, will mean that a top canyon is slowly starting to emerge here in favor of Andyland.
Yeah, a bit of terramorphic activity in the top lane as Joshi's top canyon expands. Meanwhile, we did see some tower damage coming out of Gordo, lead to punish the roam from Arena Thunder, but it looks like that, yeah, double jungle gap. They're not able to take the bottom tower, and it means that Andyland can still contest for that first tower gold. A double jungle gap, they did get the Rift Herald crash in the bottom tower, so they do have the plates, but if Andyland picks up first tower blow, that's going to be a nice gold swing in favor of their team.
Yeah. Okay, so we have the first Infernal Dragon of the game here spawning in about a minute's time. And if you look at this already, hold on, in the top lane here, Jay's going to find a huge trade onto Gnar. Look at that damage, newly eclipsed up. Joshi going to do a ton of percent health damage in that trade. Gnar not able to complete that Stride Breaker just yet. So the Mythic advantage coming into play here, but there is an Udyr. There is an Udyr here for Jace.
Mythic advantage, Joshi will be looking to... Not quite. But he's undeterred. He holds his ground, and it looks like Pelvin Pablo will have to walk away from that one, as if Joshi has eclipsed his lane opponent with that item.
Nice.
And Paw looking for a little bit of action on the bottom side of the map, knowing that Udyr's top, there's no one to challenge this gank, and it could be a potential dive setup.
Yeah, I think they're content to just turn it to the dragon here. Okay, gonna be a teleport behind the Jace here, coming out from the Gnar. So Udyr not in position, but could find a kill onto the Jace here. Let's see what happens. Gnar gonna bounce over Jace's head, and Jace gonna take a ton of damage. Actually trying to turn it around onto Gnar. Actually, a huge shock blast. Gnar unable to dodge that, nor is Udyr able to block the shock blast. Will again mean another trade here for the Jace. Thus far, even in gank scenarios, able to pick up kills will mean that Andyland has the tempo in this game. Fresh off of that dragon kill, can go mid here as well. And Nico not in position to clear this wave. Needs to be careful walking in here as well. Wow. So Andyland here should be able to pick up the mid tier 1 turret. Looks like the bot lane here of Double Jungle Gap going to be content to blow up this bot lane tier 1 in exchange. But all in all, wins across the map here for Andyland.
Looks like it'll be 2 towers for 1 tower, so it's not the worst thing in the world for Double Jungle Gap. They're totally happy getting more global gold in their pockets. But one thing it is kind of concerning is the bit of the CS lead that is starting to grow across all over the map. Across 3 positions, mid, jungle, top, and it's quite substantial, like 20 CS leads in each of those positions. That's basically 1,000 gold altogether if you add it all up. And it just makes me wonder, like, I think there was a bit of a strategic oversight coming out of Double Jungle Gap. I think it came down to Udyr's pathing, but it was a strategic decision as well. I don't want to say this is entirely Udyr's fault. The team as a whole decided they were going to commit resources into bottom side and gank bottom. But then they changed their mind and pivoted halfway through and then sent Udyr topside after forcing both summoner spells out of Mr. Chunks. If you come back and re-gank him, then you can start that counter fire, right? Like, sure, Jace is ahead, but you can get your Tristana.
Hold on, Encore gonna go land onto just the Udyr here, but now Seraphine gonna be found out. Huge pop loss is gonna be a solo kill for the Nico, but now look at this, sitting on top of the gravity will mean that Nico goes down to the bullet time. Literally gonna go low, but gonna dodge out that stun from the Gnar. Gnar gonna go down here. And there is a Tristana waiting in the wings. Lilia forced a flash here. A couple more autos would have spelled death for the deer. But look at the bot lane here, Clovis. There is a Jace pushing down. No one in response here from Double Jungle Gap. We've seen this before. Joshi, a big fan of splitting up the team and just going to a side lane to create a ton of pressure. Able to pick up that bot lane tier 2 tower.
Yeah, I mean, I think Double Jungle Gap is in a bit of a bind here, a double bind, so to speak. If they ignore the Jace, he's going to take all their towers, but if they show up, he 1v3s them and trades the kill. So if you're in that situation, you got to figure out something fast, and they need to be decisive about what fights they take. When they see the engage, they just have to go, and then kill people, exit, recall, and then try to convert that advantage into objective before they lose the towers of their own. And if they can maybe get a couple more clean, decisive fights and convert into Baron, the threat of the Jace is much lower when you have.
Ooh, hold on. Gnar gonna stride breaker into the Lilia here. Let's see if he lands one more boomerang for the slow. Gonna be mega very soon. The jump should be there for him. Where is the jump coming in? A couple more autos plus the boulder. Ooh, a huge shutdown here onto Lilia. Solo kill for Gnar. Gonna try to get him back into this game, but looks like it will not go unanswered. There is a red buff Jace here. Gnar does have the ultimate to slam Jace into a wall. Will do just that, but now the shock blast. Let's see if it comes to be. Okay, gonna be a flash in from the Jace to pick up the return kill here. Good play coming out of Gnar in that 1v2. I guess technically 2 separate 1v1s, but a huge shutdown here for the Gnar. Gonna try to get him back into the game here.
Yeah, Gnar does a pass away, but he will be back shortly. That's the beauty of League of Legends. You always get another chance to try again, and with that shutdown onto Lilia, yeah, for sure, Double Jungle Gap is going to be super happy with that outcome. They now have a point of power to play around. If this Gnar can set up a big engage, get that AoE damage, that could be a potential reset, and that's exactly what they're going to need to get back into this game.
Yeah. One thing I want to point out here that was a little bit unfortunate. Double Jungle Gap sacrificed a lot for that second Rift Herald pickup, only they forgot to pick it up. So, yeah, no Rift Herald in the inventories of any of the players here will mean that the Nico and the Gnar dying in that top jungle area was all for naught. And this is a tool that definitely would be nice here, especially with Infernal Dragon spawning in about 40 seconds. Would have been a great way to get a guaranteed pushing lane in favor of Double Jungle Gap. Because they do not have that, and they do not have the flash on the Gnar, their engage options are going to be very limited here. And they're going to have to walk through an absolute hail of poke coming through from the Jace, from the Misfortune, the Seraphine, even the Victor with his laser. Gonna be interesting to see. Okay, a bit of a death push being set up here.
This is a really big fight. Whoever gets this next dragon is gonna have
smart play from the Udyr, actually. That sweeper. The sweeper behind the wall, able to see the silhouettes there, will spot out that gank, but yeah, this will be a dead Infernal Dragon.
Yeah. There's no way they can walk into this. Gnar is clearing out the top wave, but he's the only person who can reliably face check into this fog, who won't just instantly die to Shock Blast combo, so it's going to be a no contest there from Double Jungle Gap, and the pressure is on. It's going to be a fight for the Dragon Soul.
Yeah, we talked about this, Clovis. The issue with double jungle gaps comp is if they fall behind, look at how hesitant they are to force any sort of engage because of how much damage they're naturally going to take when they go in like this. When the poke comp is ahead, that damage is going to be too high.
Yep, it's tough because, like, you know, you're on broadcast, your friends are watching, maybe your mom's there supporting you in Twitch chat, and you don't want to make an embarrassing engage that loses you the game.
Right.
But, you know, the fact of the matter is, double jungle gap is in a bad situation. And you could just not fight on your team fighting comp and slowly wither away as Jace eats all your towers. Or you commit to a fight and you go out with a bang, right? Maybe it's not a good fight, like it's 30, 70 odds against you, but you take that 30% or that 20% or whatever it is, because you have to play to your win condition. You cannot play League of Legends just to not lose. You have to know what your strengths are and play to your outs.
Right. Yeah, eventually, if they do not do just that, Clovis, they are just going to roll over and die. This lead only going to grow bigger here for Andyland as they start to pressure a potential Baron play as well. Just going to mean more resources in the hands of Andyland. But okay, this might be a potential point of recovery here. Udyr unspotted thus far. That's his choice here between the Seraphine, Jace, and Misfortune. Going to go with Seraphine will be the target here. But okay, just going to force the flash. Leona, wow, look at that shock blast damage. Going to take Tristana half HP. Oh no! And the Leona going to flash for a pop loss, or for a no! Oh, so much dyssynergy here. That would have been a two-man pop blossom, but the Buster shot coming out from the Tristana actually going to push Misfortune and Seraphine to safety. Oh, that was it, Clovis. That was it for double jungle gap.
That was their fight. It was the perfect setup. They had the combo, and unfortunately, Simple Actions not on the same page. Maybe doesn't see the whole fight going on, and unfortunately commits that explosive shot and sends a lot of members of Andyland to safety.
Yeah, a couple of miscommunications there as well. We saw the blast cone get popped. Leona flashed to the back of that blast cone, expecting it to be there. Leona without that flash, is going to be one less engage option here for double jungle gap. Man, it's going to be a lot harder for them now. And with that HP advantage for Andyland, going to mean that this Baron is potentially going to get started here.
Yeah, these chutes and ladders that Andyland have set up for double jungle gap are really slowing down the blue team. This is their fight. They need to challenge this. If Baron goes away, I think there are chances of winning the game will as well. And here's the fight.
There we go. Gonna be a two-man sleeper coming out from Lolia. Bonus time over the top. Not able to fight too much. Nar not mega just yet, but able to hop over the wall to safety. Pop Blossom gonna come out here. Gonna be flashed away from the Jace. Zero-man Pop Blossom. Now Jace should be able to get some poke back here. Udyr not able to get into the fight either. Nar though does have that mega form. Does have flash as well. Let's see where, if, okay, nope, never mind. Nothing's gonna happen.
Nothing's gonna happen, but we do have dragon spawning in 90 seconds, and I'm pretty sure Andyland are very happy just baiting out their cooldowns and trying again. Time is on their side. They have the pressure. It's on double jungle gap to force a play, and if nothing happens, Andyland is just gonna push waves, keep vision control, and try again. And here we go, round 2.
Yeah, one thing to keep an eye out on here, though, it is not the healthiest Baron. There is no out-and-out tank here for Andyland, so if they get pressured here, turn will be the call. Neo gonna teleport in here, but does not have that Pop Blossom. Ooh, Jay's gonna get powered up here by it's gonna be a 3-man Seraphine ultimate, but Tristana is untouched thus far, but look at that pile into all this poke. It doesn't even matter, though. Not gonna be able to stun 2 against the wall here. Victor going very, very low, so is Seraphine. Seraphine should be picked up here. Took the wrong turn at this juncture. No, looks like double jungle gap will instead get onto this Baron, but there is going to be a Russian robot over the wall sending lasers at them. Let's see if they have the Baron speed here. Not gonna be the healthiest nor the fastest Baron. Nar actually going to be overextended as well. This is a very, very scuffed fight. Looks like the call is going... Oh no, okay, so not able to pick up the Seraphine here. Udyr should have enough with the turtle stance to be able to heal back up here, but this Baron is not going down very quickly. Oh no, teleport coming in. This fight has gone on so long that Victor is going to be here fresh. One more auto from the Victor, able to pick up the Nard. Now trying to look for 3 members here of double jungle gap. The Nico going to be stunned up here on the gravity well. Going to go down after he comes out of stasis. So the... Oh no, if you're double jungle gap, you did get a huge team fight win, but unable to commit to the Baron because of that Victor poke over the wall, plus the Seraphine taking the long way around will mean that 2 members go down, and with that, the Infernal Soul should be in the pockets here of Andyland.
Double jungle gap, they secure the Baron, but at what cost? It's too little too late, and with the 4th dragon taken by Andyland, they are now playing a poke composition with Infernal Dragon. This is the dream for their team comp. The Jace Shock Blast, they're going to one-shot simple actions at this point, and well, we're going to see one last hurrah from Double Jungle Gap, but it's looking grim for them.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of what they needed to be doing throughout the game. If they can get on top of this composition from Andyland, all that CC is going to negate this poke. But look at that, even Leona taking a good chunk from that Shock Blast. And Jace has a blue buff here as well to make sure that they can sustain this poke, sustain this siege.
Yeah, the Acceleration Gate is on a 12-second cooldown for that Jace, so he's just going to fire those off cooldown into the field of Double Jungle Gap. And oh man, the bowling balls from Lilia, the Shock Blast, the MF rain of bullets, it's just...
Look at Udyr here. I wonder where Udyr is going. Looks like Udyr going to be split pushing here. That's the call from Double Jungle Gap. I don't know that this is going to be the recipe to success here, but maybe going to put some silent pressure here on Andyland. Udyr does have the Baron, so it is not a negligible push, but a double... Ooh, could have been a 2-man sleep coming out from the Lilia there, but looks like actually Udyr is going to make Andyland second guess their siege here. The recall coming in from the Victor will get completed, and now Double Jungle Gap going to slowly leak out of their base here, but they need to be careful. One bowling ball landing could mean a return, could mean a reversal coming out from Andyland. It looks like that will not be the case. So, gonna actually be a good call sending the Udyr to the side lane. Gonna force Victor to recall. Gonna pick up a tier 2 top turret as well. But yeah, I wonder how much time that's going to buy for Double Jungle Gap.
Definitely one of the drawbacks of that poke comp is that because you have no engage tools, you have no dive tools, if your wave gets cleared, it's the end of your push. You got to wait for the next wave. And because they have no way to commit to the dive and the Baron minions presenting a bit of a problem for them in the mid lane, they do have to back out and stop Udyr. Now, that being said, they're just going to stall out the Baron, and when Baron falls off like it did just now, they're going to re-siege once again. But with Udyr taking at least a tower, there's some more gold with the Double Jungle Gap to work with here. It's only a 2,000, 3,000 gold lead for Andyland. This is very, very throwable. Just one clean ace into an objective. This game can spin the complete opposite direction, so I think Double Jungle Gap have actually stabilized here. They can look to outscale.
Yeah, definitely. And with Elder Dragon here, the great equalizer, it doesn't matter if you're down gold, that Elder Dragon execution plus the burn damage going to mean that whoever picks that one up will have a conclusive advantage in a team fight.
That's for sure, Roger. And put your eyes on Pelvis Pablo, because he is actually up.
Hold on, Tristana here, going to be found. Oh, okay. So Lilia landed the bowling ball, but Tristana with enough escapes there to jump away. Sorry, go ahead, Clovis.
Yeah, Udyr is finally caught up and is actually up levels now on Paw, who held it decisively in the early game. Lilia has been snowballing the map, compounding the lead for her team, but with Udyr picking up all this selfish solo lane farm on the split push, it's going to present quite a big threat. And with that Stride Breaker, remind you, he's not the dead man's plate engage Udyr. He is split pushing, and he is looking to put on the hurt.
Okay.
I say that as he groups back in the mid lane.
So a renewed siege coming out from Andyland here, but no Baron available for Double Jungle Gap will mean that Udyr in the side lane going to be far less threatening.
Oh wait, I think this might have been a huge oversight. I didn't even realize this is 5-point Tiger Stridebreaker Udyr. He doesn't have any points in Phoenix and no tank items, so...
Yep.
I think that may have been a bit of a mistake here.
It's a massive mistake as far as I'm concerned, Clovis. Let's not sugarcoat it. Udyr... really with this turbo chem tank build does a lot of I'm gonna be strike breaking onto the Lilia here, but all right, no follow-up coming out from either team, and now they're gonna be asleep onto the Nico. Gonna be a good Zonya's put her into stasis, but look at this bullet time over the top, and now Nico gonna fall down here. Nard is gonna be cutting the wave in the mid lane, but oh my goodness gracious, Infernal Soul, this is why we love it, because people start disappearing off the map. So there are no minions here to continue this push for Andyland, but it will for sure be a mid lane inhibitor take.
actually a really insightful play there by Daddy No Chill. You may be thinking to yourself, oh, Nara's griefing, he's not in the fight, why didn't he TP? He just saved the game. He cut the wave. He saw that the fight was not going to be won. There's no way he can turn that around, and by killing the minion wave, there's no angle for Andyland to end.
But might have overstayed here a little
gives
bit.
Them time to respawn. Double jungle cap have one last try, one more team fight.
Okay, looks to be either Baron or Elder here. Going to be the last stand for Double Jungle Gap. I think Gnar, it was initially a good call, but might have overstayed for a wave, which did allow Andyland to pick up the bot lane inhibitor as well. So now going to be two lanes pushing in favor of Andyland here. Going to give them a ton of map pressure as they pick the neutral objective of their choosing. If we look at the map movement here, it looks like Baron seems to be the favorite for Andyland.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the else are. I mean, we have that Elder Dragon you were speaking of, Roger, in 15 seconds, but unfortunately, Baron is alive now, and both inhibitors in the mid and bottom lane have been captured.
Okay, now this is interesting. Baron gets started up here with 5 seconds on Elder Dragon time, but this will not be killed in time. So it looks to be a bit of a DPS check for Double Jungle Gap. If they can burn down this Elder Dragon before Andyland rotates over, they can actually fight. Let's take a look here. They will be picked up here. Tristana is going to do a ton of damage with that Kraken Slayer. So Double Jungle Gap going to need to fight really, really hard after they pick up this Elder Dragon. Let's see if that's what ends up being the call. Oh, the boomerang going to be just short of the Lilia. That could have started something. Okay, so Double Jungle Gap, Elder Dragoned up, but they have minions that, if left unattended, will destroy their base. No champion assistance required. So even with this Elder Dragon, they have to retreat here.
Well, this is going to be Joshi's dream. The winning play is non-interaction, and he is going to march his soldiers into the middle lane. They're going to stand there and fight Baron and then not fight.
Look at that. One bowling ball from Lilia doing approximately 50% of Tristana's HP. That Liandry's Demonic Embrace plus the natural dot from Lilia's passive doing so much damage.
Honestly, I think Double Jungle Gap do still have a shot back in this game. They do have the higher quality buff. I do value Elder Dragon over the Baron buff. And if they find Andyland overextended, they use the Elder Dragon to get a clean ace. They can still turn this around and get their inhibitor respawns, but Andyland is just going to try their best to non-interactively shock blast the defenders of the turret and just laugh as their super minions fire down the lane. It's going to be pretty extreme. One of these teams is going to get a really decisive lead, and we're not sure which one.
Okay, so Elder Dragon does not last very, very long here. And now those... Oh no, the Nico going to be caught out here. Going to be forced to use Flash. And that's going to be a crucial cooldown that would otherwise be a very good engage tool for Double Jungle Gap. Elder Dragon is ticking down here. Baron lasts about a minute longer if memory serves. So they really got to pull the trigger soon, or else this Elder Dragon pickup will be for naught. Nico gonna go back to base here and heal back up.
Yeah, they really need that Leona, but who doesn't have Flash, they'll have to lead with Leona Ultimate. Daddy No Chill does have TP, Flash, and Megadar coming up, so I think that is going to be the window they play with.
Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Oh my goodness, actually going to be missing everything, but Victor is overextended. Going to be a two-man encore as well. Still no conclusive 5 damage, but oh my goodness, this Trithon just got deleted. But now, look, Misfortune is down, Seraphine is down, Jace is down. Triple kill for Nico so far, but this Victor is unattended. Going to be able to pick up the Udyr, and the team with Elder Dragon buff ends up losing the team fight. So, Baron plus Infernal Soul and the Whiffed Gnar ultimate going to mean that Andyland end up taking the game.
An absolutely heartbreaking fight for Daddy No Chill. You could see exactly what he was going for. He had the 5-man engage perfectly set up, but unfortunately used his ultimate before flashing. I'm not sure what was going through his head, but he saw the play, he went for it, but sequencing those spells wrong means he misses the opportunity to get a 5-man flash ultimate. That should have been a clean ace or Double Jungle Gap, but for Andyland fans, this is a good day. They cinch out that win and are going to tie themselves up for the 3-way tie for first place alongside Pokecard and Chili's Angels.
Yeah, so a return to the win column here for Andyland. Bit of disappointment for Double Jungle Gap, but Definitely putting the league on notice here. Able to go, well, I don't want to say toe for toe, but giving Andyland a decent game here. Unfortunately, the execution just a little bit short there with that final team fight. Definitely could have gotten them back into the game with that Elder Dragon buff. But congratulations to Andyland. Congratulations to the Pussy Posse. Your boys out here. But yeah, gonna be a win here for Andyland. With that loss, that will mean that Double Jungle Gap dropped to 2-3 on the season. Andyland at 5-2 in a three-way tie at the top of the standings with Chili's Angels and Pokecard. So shaping out to be a great playoff race here as well, heading into the second round robin.
Yeah, really setting the stage for a big confrontation. And although Double Jungle Gap unfortunately not able to prevail today, they actually showed up in a big way today. They were kind of hanging out near the bottom of the lineup and the scoring, but with a game like this, making it a close and competitive match with Andyland, who I think still is the fan favorite to win it, at least thus far, that shows a lot of growth for this team, and I think they can really turn things around. And even then, they almost had that potentially game-winning fight. They were so close to executing it, and they just needed a few more tries to iron it out. And, you know, there's always another game for them to try one more time.
Indeed. Okay. So, with that, we're gonna hear from Andyland here. To me, the two standouts, Jace and Lilia. Gordo Lee shouldn't go unmentioned either, ending up with a perfect score line of 7-0-8. So let's see if we can get some of them in here for some post-game interviews. We also had a question redemption here, player question redeemed by Nerfed Panda. So we're gonna bring the Udyr onto the interview desk as well. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm gonna kidnap you guys real quick. I'm gonna grab, where's Calvin? Okay. So welcome to the post-game interview desk. Congratulations to Andyland here for picking up a win. Gonna put them back in the win column after a bit of a slide and back on track. So I want to talk to Joshi here first on the Jace, a champion we have not seen you play yet in the tournament, but getting out to a huge early game lead and then trading kills every time you got ganked. What was the key to success on this Jace?
Honestly, like, I'm in recovery right now, so I told the team, like, if we can't get me Gnar or Jace, I'm probably gonna feed, and then they let me play Jace, and I was like, oh, sick, they gave me a good matchup, so I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
People did a lot of the classic thing where it's like, the other person can absolutely get the kill, and they stick around while low anyway to give us the opportunity to trade back. So, you know, thank you for overestimating yourself.
Okay, so even on the post-game desk, Joshi with a bit of a taunt, and the members of Double Jungle Gap into that top lane.
Yeah, the one other thing is, like, I just have to say I'm so relieved I don't have to shout out the Northwest on stream.
As you shout out the Northwest on stream.
Fuck, I'm falling into the trap.
Yes, you got baited and outsmarted, but you will have the win over the Northwest and Double Jungle Gap to accompany you tonight. Okay. Second question here, gonna go to Paw, aka Philip, on the Lilia. We saw you play this champion in, I want to say, one of your first games against Don't Worry We Scale, where you famously dropped Rift Herald right in front of mid tier 1 turret and then ate the freest Malphite ulti of all time. But this game, definitely showing why we should fear the deer. What was the difference in this game?
Well, Roger, I kept it in pocket. Didn't try to do too much. I listened to my team when they told me I was being a dumbass. And let's be real, the posse energy has been strong today, and I don't think I could have done it without this infectious energy.
Yeah, the posse showing up in full force, seemingly out of nowhere. They also
You're
want
asking
me to
some good
answer this question that I think you need to hear as well, which is, hey, Rodrino, would you describe Paw 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 as more sexy or cute? Honestly, yes. I've met Philip, and when I met him, I was like, holy shit, this guy is just so good looking, and you know, just
Goddamn.
seducing me
Roger.
with his guitar skills.
I
You know,
love you, Roger.
yeah, if we weren't in this public venue right now, I don't even want to think about the things I'd be trying to do to this man. So,
Oh, you got my number, baby.
yeah, man, I gotta hit you up next time I'm back in the Bay. So, I hope that answers your question. I did explain my answer. I think. Yes, the answer, Hagrid, is yes. Okay, the answer is yes. All right, you guys can clip it. Anybody can clip, by the way. It doesn't have to be me. All right, if I had to pick one, it's like 51% sexy and like 49% cute. So yeah,
Love it.
just a little bit of an edge in the sexy department.
I apologize to my friends.
It's all good, dude. We love to see it on the Do It Big stream. We want to see everyone come out and support their friends. So I really appreciate the patrol showing out their support for Philip and for Andyland. Okay. Third question here, going to go to Mr. Gordo Lee, ending with an immaculate 7-0-8 scoreline on the Victor. We haven't seen you play this champion before. What inspired you to pick Victor in this game?
Well, originally we were looking at Arena Thunder's champions, and we saw that she played a lot of Anivia.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw that Victor is actually a really good counter to Anivia. But then we decided to ban Anivia.
Mm-hmm.
But we decided to keep the Victor because it's good into the Udyr. Udyr tries to run at Victor. Victor puts down the slow field, and Udyr cries.
Udyr did cry that game.
I was fucking crying, man. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So a lot of zone control, a lot of poke, good synergy with the team. Just a good pick all around. So.
Okay.
Definitely fun.
Well, Calvin, you may be wondering why you're on the post-game desk here, despite taking the L.
You're here to flame me because of Boris.
No, actually, I'm not here to flame you. Nerf Panda Lol is here to flame you. A question from the audience. So, Nerf Panda Lol asks, why the fuck are you going Stridebreaker?
I thought that we'd be able to. I thought that if I went more attack speed oriented in Tiger Stance build, that I'd be able to smack towers a little harder. So I thought that we could go D-gates a little harder. But we ended up getting fucking Giga Railed, so I couldn't even touch a tower that time.
Okay, yeah, so apparently the new Zoomer speak is if you get fucking Giga Railed. And yeah, definitely was the case for the Udyr there. At 1.2 levels down to Lilia. So, unfortunate there. Should go back to the drawing board and maybe just stick to what's actually good instead of trying to experiment on the Sage. Oh well. Okay, anyways, with that, do you have any questions? Sorry, Clovis, I kind of just asking players here all the questions, but do you have any questions here for the winners here?
Yeah, I guess as a former teammate of Joshi myself, I do have a question for Paw 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 here. Is the leadership of Joshi incredibly inspiring, or is the pain of being called a dumbass too much?
Let me tell you, it does hurt when Daddy Joshi is disappointed, but the man's it never happens. He's got the best mental, and he's got a smooth voice when he goes through tape. Literally, couldn't have a nicer time.
Yeah, that's the story we're sticking to.
That's a story we're sticking to. Blink twice, Philip, if you have a gun to the back of your head right now.
Well, there you have it. The hand of Joshi gives just as much as it takes. And I think we're gonna start to wrap it up here, Roger. Unless there's anything else you want to add.
No, I think that's it. Congratulations to Andyland. For all the Udyr players out there, don't think you're smarter than Pioshik. Just build what he builds and actually try to win the game. I think that's it for our contestants here tonight. Let's look forward to our next broadcast, which will be on Wednesday. So this week, a much lighter week than I think you guys have been seeing thus far. We have a bit of a break here for our players. This next couple of weeks will be used to make up some of the games that have been rescheduled. So on February 10th, Wednesday, we will have 2 games for you. Starting at 7 p.m., we will have Don't Worry We Scale versus Double Jungle Gap. You're going to see Double Jungle Gap a lot this week just because they have not been able to play as many games up until this point. And then they will play their second game of the night at 9 p.m. versus Support Diff. If you want to get in on an in-house, maybe we can set that up again, as we do have an hour gap between those 2 games. So might have to get another custom ARAM or SR going with the viewers. But yeah, so we will be back on Wednesday at 7 p.m. PST. 2 games for you that night. If you are not sure, be sure to check out my Twitch description, where all the games for the week will be posted, and the standings will be posted as well. Final reminder for the viewers, this does complete Andyland's first round robins, 5-2, sitting pretty at the top, albeit not alone, joined by
I would
Chili's
just like
Angels.
to point out that we do in fact hold the head-to-head tiebreakers against both the other first place teams.
That is true. So yeah, unfortunately, we do have a second round robin here for us to differentiate the fakers from the fake. So we'll get that rolling in a couple weeks time, and then we can get the playoffs, baby.
Yeah, I guess Andyland, a bit of a Robin Hood factor going on here, stealing from the rich and giving to the poor.
We just played our opponent's level.
Indeed, indeed. Oh man, so I guess in a way that's a backhanded compliment to Double Jungle Gap. They only win against good teams, seems to be the logic here. So you are de facto a good team, if not a good builder of Udyr. I'm not gonna let that one go, Calvin. It's the easiest thing to do, man. Just build Udyr properly. Okay. Thank you though to all the viewers for tuning in on this Monday night. We'll be back on Wednesday. 2 games. Don't miss it. Do it big. Good night, Twitch chat.